our our fortress to take this thing forward, to change lives, to change businesses, and change people's financial and their family situations that are going on. I was talking to the stylist. She said they are really hurting right now, and that's just a trickle down effect. And what we can do, we have something in our hands that can change this, make huge changes. So it's exciting. I'm really charged, and we just have to go out and do it.
While we're waiting for her, I keep monitoring her. I guess she's got a terrible internet connection or something. But one of the things that came up, and as you know, when Tracy leads the charge on the webpage, she talks about sending out 2 samples, right?
Right.
However, Dave and I made a commitment to a company about 9 months ago, I guess 8 months ago, to buy this super duper platform called Sales Rocks. And we invested almost $3,000 US between the two of us to get these platforms. And the reason it was so expensive is because it does something that virtually no other platform does for less than $4,000 to $5,000 a month in fees. It scrapes all of the official registries for all types of businesses, from fishmongers to hair salons to mining equipment, you name it, it's in there. The entire world, and it has all of the US businesses, all of the UK businesses, all of Australia. So it gives us the ability to not just pick up a list, but to pick up a list specific to geographic, specific to industry, etc. So it also has a built-in mailer in it, and it will allow you to scrape the names, the contact names, and then when you get all the emails in, it actually has a function in it that allows you to verify that those are the real email addresses and they're active.
Yeah.
Now, just the email verification alone is usually between 50 cents and $2 per email. But we invested in this company, and we now have a real winner because they've come through in their development. They're selling this platform for huge money per month, ridiculous money per month, and we can get any list, any niche. So what Dave is proposing is that he is willing, for those that are willing to, do the follow-up, to get you those names, those lists, etc., etc. Now, some of those businesses don't have active email campaigns, but what you do get with our system and Sales Rocks is you do get their verified email address. So as you know, the start of our campaign is my beautiful wife saying, hey, let's say the salon, we'll send you 2 samples, one for you, one for the salon. But if you're actually getting the list from Dave and he sends you a couple hundred names like he did to Vince, you're going to be able to send 1 sample. Why? Because there's no video. So you could actually write them a letter, put in the sample proactively, know that it's going to go to their official business address, which means it's going to be opened, and you could write a letter along the lines of, hi, thank you for taking the time to read this important letter. I'm part of the Saving Salons team. We're not here just to save salons. We're here to save people in the beautification industry as a whole. I've enclosed a simple blah, blah, blah. So you get it. You write a letter like that and you enclose the sample and instructions on how to do it. Then you can say, we're part of a larger group that's dedicated to help saving salons across the United States and Canada. Please call me for more information. Now, what is that going to require in terms of an investment? It's one sample, so depending on how many you buy at a time, right? It's one stamp, so I don't know how much. A stamp in Canada is about $100. In the States, I think it's still reasonable. But one stamp in the States, I think, is still reasonable. And you mail those out. Well, when you're talking about what you call tier 1 lead generation, that's a tier 1 lead because you're sending it directly to the salon in question. You're actually getting them the sample proactively, and yes, some of them are going to say no, but think about this. If you sent out 20 of those letters, what's your cost? What's your actual cost going to be? It's going to be your time to do it, right? So it's going to be the same letter reprinted with a different name on it. It's going to be the cost of the piece of paper and an envelope and the sample, right? So 20 is going to be under $100 for sure, except for in Canada where 20 is 20 times $100. And that's a whole different story because our postage is way more money up here. But the bottom line is, and all kidding aside, if you close 1 in 100, you're probably breaking even. You're going to, my guess is, because mail, and I don't know if any of you follow Forbes or any of the other magazines that talk about ongoing marketing, they're calling, there is a recent article in Forbes with a title something like, "The Forgotten Best Method for Marketing." And the whole gist of the article was that the entire business world in the United States, Canada, and the UK got absolutely focused on Facebook, AdWords, online marketing, and the mail system dropped off where there's almost no mail going to businesses. Now, I've had a business incorporated since 1988. I used to go to my mailbox for years and years and years, check it once a week, and my mailbox at the UPS center for my business would be filled with junk mail. I go in now and I will get 1 or 2 pieces a month compared to a full mailbox every single week. And the whole essence of the Forbes magazine in a person's mind when they get a oh yeah, this is the other key, handwritten.
Yeah.
Handwritten. I got this today, okay? That was at my, mailbox. I got this today, and oh my God, I got a letter to my corporation in my mailbox. I was so excited. I was opening it as I'm coming back up the elevator because I thought it had to be important. And it turned out it was a tax receipt. Big deal. But the bottom line is, it's exactly what they said in Forbes magazine, that businesses respect the mail and they think you're bigger because every other business is sending out no-cost correspondence by the bushel. How many of you get more junk mail than you wish you ever had seen? It's ridiculous. Mine is like 200 to 300 a day, right? Mm-hmm. But nobody's sending out mail anymore. My point being that the value of these leads, if you go to a lead generation service and ask them to do a mail-out campaign, the most expensive component of that is the cost of the list. The cost of the list ranges from the 240 that were sent to Vince, that value is about $1,000. Just so you know, with that kind of detail in it, if you go buy a list, if you go to a list broker right after this call and you say, I want a list of 500 dog walkers, right? Not related, 500 dog walkers with their name, their business address, and verified, they're going to charge you at least $2 to $3 a lead.
Right.
We're able to give you the most expensive component of that for free. And we can do, if you ask Dave to do any, and we can do 30,000 a month. The value of 30,000,
Yeah.
right, is $90,000. That's how valuable this software that we invested in is today. We literally are like master list brokers. Now, we are limited to 30,000 a month each, but the reality is we have this resource. Exploit us, use us, take them from us, because we want you to succeed. And your only investment is the cost of the letter and the sample. So,
question for you, Dory. What do you guys think about maybe that whole, I'm in total agreement with you, of a handwritten, it looks far more personal. You could comment something even about their salon. I mean, if you want to take that extra time, I think the conversion rate would be dramatically different. And if we put it in some sort of a nicer envelope even, like something pretty, right? This is a salon. We want to sort of, I don't know, we could, even between us, like Dave, even between you and I, given that we're in the same location, maybe we go in and get 2,000 envelopes for a more reasonable price with, you know, something a little prettier, because I think our sample's pretty, right? So if we went along with something that kind of mirrored that from a little bit of from a marketing, you know, consistency perspective, without looking like we're some big company, in a sense, like professional, but, you know, and very personalized, I think we'd see dramatic difference.
Susan, you are so bang on the money. Every word that came out of your mouth was a pearl of wisdom, seriously.
Well, thank you, Dory.
No, seriously, because when you take the time to actually recognize something about an individual salon and they know it's a handwritten note, the value of the ratio of conversion goes through the roof.
Yeah, I think I would look each one of them up on the internet and find out something nice about them. Or I saw a customer review or something along those lines. I know it's more work, but I think if we looked at what we're actually putting out there rather than a blanket, like thinking we're going to get a lot from a blanket thing, I think we could spend a lot less and get a lot further a lot quicker.
Yes.
And Susan and Dory, on that Excel file I sent you, it lists what they make a year. It is phenomenal. You look at some of these stylists, 15,000, 30,000. And I mean, that information is so valuable too, that we can put into the letter, not saying I see you only made 15,000, but we can come up with a marketing letter there that can identify the need of what we have. Is they should be calling us right away.
Debbie, did you ever send out that page that you had on the program? I never did see that last copy. Dory, remember when you were going to send it out last week? Can't hear you, Debbie.
There you go.
Yeah, I did send it to Dory and Dave. I have two now, though. It's kind of morphed into something else. The reason being, okay, here's the reason. You know, if you're handing it out with a sample, you don't really want to send out the one, here's the one that, and it says get your free sample.
Right.
But if I'm sending it out with samples or handing it to somebody with samples, I made another one that says, do you know anyone else who might be interested in getting a free sample? Because if you're already giving them a sample, you don't need to send them the site to say, get your free samples, right? Because then they're just
Right.
So that's the other thing too with this campaign. I'm wondering, the spreadsheet has, I mean, it has only 2 emails on the 400 that I got and has 17 Facebook pages, but there is a phone number and a website for everyone. What if you just made a quick call ahead and let them know that, or wonder if they'd be interested in receiving, you don't want to get wordy, but you could say, you know, whose name should I address this to make sure it gets to the right person, and look forward to my letter with a free sample. Like, not asking them for anything other than who should, you know, who should I direct your letter to or your sample to? Just a name.
Debbie, I'm in agreement with you because I'm a phone call person. I mean, I've done, you know, 50 to 100 calls a day for many years, so I don't have any problem picking up a phone, and I agree with you. If we find out who it is, and that way they can look forward to receiving, depending on who you speak with.
Exactly.
Going to send something out to them, then it's sent personally, and then, yeah, I think that makes...
On the envelope, excuse me, on the envelope you could actually write, attention Karen, or attention, you know, whoever it is. Because then they're going to open it for sure, because it's personal.
There's
Hey, Diane.
Hi, Susan.
So we will turn it, while we have Diane in internet connection here, I'll, not to be rude, Debbie, but I'll turn it back over to Dave and let Dave do the introduction and hear from Diane.
Hi, Diane.
Just wondering if are my speakers on? Can you hear
Oh,
me?
you're fine. You're fine, Diane.
Okay.
So Diane just came on. Diane Tinderholt, thank you for coming on.
Of course.
Diane just joined us, Valentis, this week, and we talked about the Salon program. And so Diane had some great ideas, and she had some great contacts. And I just want Diane to share your contact with your salon owner and their stylist. Tell us what you plan to do here.
Well, I'm hearing myself. It's okay. I was at my hair salon getting my hair cut finally, and on both sides of me, they're speaking about, am I double speaking on the
No, you're
computer?
fine.
It's okay.
No.
When I was talking to my hairdresser, the 2 hairdressers on the side of me are talking about Botox and Juvederm. And because I've done thermal imaging, I responded with, do you know how bad that is for you? Because it's botulism. And that's what will kill you eventually. And you lose your facial expression. And they were all tuned in and said, we're going to try other things first. And I said, we have something. Can I send you this? And they were like, yeah, absolutely. So I'm actually stopping by the salon today to talk to Sylvia and the co-owner and give them each a sample and ask them anybody else who would like to know about it. Because I don't think it's just going to be salons. It's people that they work with. They're going to be able to utilize this. So because I've done thermal imaging and I've seen the bright red because of the inflammation and the Juvederm injections in the lips, it's like, this is not good for you.
No.
Hey, Dave, I've got a question for you. Can you and Diane, I'm looking at the ingredients because I was working on something that I'm going to be doing on LinkedIn, and I wanted to know, can we refer this as all natural, or have we got stuff in here that's not natural?
I will look at it. Debbie, you look at it.
You're muted, Debbie. Can't hear you.
Okay, I have not looked at the individual ingredients and assessed I don't know if we have a complete list of ingredients, do we?
Here it is
Oh, you
Oh,
do?
it's on the
on
back.
our
Okay.
card. Or,
No.
right.
I didn't want any deterrents, I guess. If I find something in a program that's working, I'm not sure if I want to bring it up.
Well, Debbie, what I wanted to make
But
sure
yeah,
is if I make the statement, it's all natural. I either need to not make the statement, or
Yeah.
if I can make the
Yeah.
statement, I'd like to know if I can. That's my question for
Yeah.
today, because I was doing a reporting for something I'm going to do.
Okay. Susan, you and I can talk about it, go over it.
Okay.
I haven't looked at it in detail, but I will verify that. Yes. Diane,
Yes.
or Susan, and Vince, and Debbie, and Ron, I sent out those lists to you on the Excel software there. I only included the ones with emails. I can do a filter and send out. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of salons that don't have emails, but I can do that whole thing. You get a list of every one of them in Ohio, but some will have emails, some won't. So if you plan on doing the campaign that Dory is talking about, the mailing campaign, I'll give you the rest of the 500 to 600. So we can do that.
Yeah, because my list, I had, I think, 399 on my list, and mine only had 2 with emails. So you already sent me the one that has the address and the phone number, so yeah, that would be very helpful. And Facebook too, you can go onto their Facebook page and put a little message on
I
there.
got from Dave, and I don't know exactly how many I've got on the list, but there was maybe only about 2 or 3 from Holland, Michigan. A lot of them over on the east side of the state. So, but there's a whole lot that I could find in a different source, not with emails, but with phone numbers locally. There's a lot of salons out there. So what you're saying, Dave, or Dory, is that maybe that list for mailing is going to be a more potent one. Although what I can do is just call them all up. If there's phone numbers, I'll make a phone call, easily, and then find out who the person to send it to, and that's a good way to go too.
Yeah, and I think the important message on that phone call is, when you find somebody and you get them on the phone, hey, I'm part of a national group, because we're national. You look at this group here, or international group that we're saving salons all across the United States and Canada. That gives you a reason. It's a subject line that might make them pay attention. We're trying to help businesses that have suffered during COVID-19 get back on their feet. And that's the way to open it, and then just stick to the subject at hand, which is getting them the sample. Don't get into details. That's a mistake. If you talk too much, then you're not learning enough about their business. You need to cut the dialogue down, because one of the things that I specialized in way back in the 80s was B2B business development. And the one thing that I learned from my mentor was, if they're cutting hair, they don't want more than a 30-second phone conversation because they're busy with their salon people. And so if you do make the phone call, make sure that you have, and I used to have to set an egg timer in front of myself so that I know you're busy, and if they say, hey, no, I don't have anybody in here at the moment, that's your cue. That's an opening, right? But if they say, thank you very much, yeah, send it to Diane Ward at blah, 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 address, then you got it. And then send it, and then do the follow-up 10 days later.
Dory, what about is saying that we're offering free consultation?
Yep, that's another powerful way. We're helping salons everywhere, and we have a program. We offer all of our services are at no charge. When you get the sample, you'll understand the only thing you'd ever be required to do is purchase samples, But again, those details you don't want to get into until they've had the chance to put the sample on and are believers that it works.
Yeah, I don't even think I'd mention a sample. I would just say I'm going to send something to you about our program.
Yeah, you could try both. I would probably tell them I'm sending them a sample and with a detailed description on how it works, and I'll let my package do the speaking for itself.
Okay. Have you written a letter yet?
Yeah, I think,
I haven't yet,
it's
no.
a good idea.
Ron, I'll resend you the list that includes everyone, including the ones that don't have an email. I'll resend the list. I'll do another scan and just send that over to you, and you'll see a lot more.
Dave, I'd like that too.
Okay.
I was going to say,
Diane's got her hand.
the idea of getting something in there.
I took care of the wind.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Has anybody worked with nail salons or massage therapists or spas?
Yes, the answer is yes.
Okay.
And all of them, we chose, saving salons, but
I believe that's true, yeah.
Spas, we're including nail salons, all of that stuff, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And what I was told actually within the last week is that the nail salon industry is far more cutthroat than the hair salon industry. And they're really, really ultra competitive, and there's less loyalty in the nail salon than there is in the hair salon, because, somebody will say, oh, well, I met this other, I guess people don't think that their nails are as important as their hair.
So, to bring up, I encourage everyone to go back to listen to last week's recording. Dory brought up something very, very interesting about new management of businesses and putting together a program, a marketing program for, let's say you have a salon down the street, and put together a marketing program introducing a new manager. And so 2 blocks down the road, a big sign that says nail salon, it says under new management. They have balloons, they have all this stuff. Where am I going today? I'm going to a hair salon or a nail salon and talk to the new management with all the balloons out. And so it's very attractive. And so we'll find out. I'll report back next week how everything turns out. But we're obviously have had some trouble under new management, and I'm going to come in as a white horse to help them create more income.
Yeah. The other side benefit here, and I don't know if it's true in the United States, but in Canada, I did some work with nail salons quite a few years ago on a consulting basis, helping them get their businesses up and operational. It had nothing to do with what we're talking about, but what I discovered was that this one particular group, they were Vietnamese. Now, I don't know if that's true in the U.S., that there's a lot of Vietnamese that are in nail salons, but I was shocked because I was going through this group of nail salons that had an affiliation with each other, and they were all Vietnamese owners.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about that is, in my experience as being in the industry for years and years, some of my best and most productive years in the industry came through ethnic marketing.
Yeah.
And so I made a literal fortune with one company because of a group of Chinese distributors I had from Richmond, BC. They made almost $1 million for me. And another group was a Filipino group. And they just literally took this and ran it through their entire community. And the next thing I know, I was growing, my group was growing in this company years ago by 500 a week. Once it got going, once it hit momentum. And a salon, when I was in there doing this consulting, it was mostly about signage and competitive environment and stuff like that. And I was working to show them how to spruce their image so that a person felt better going into their salon. But as I'm in there, I'm noticing that 60 to 70% of their clientele were also Vietnamese. And so I actually consulted with them to help them bring in other societal groups into their salons. And I said, well, your sign might be attractive to somebody from your own community, but if you put some English on it, you might get, more people from, the other neighborhoods and stuff. And when I did it in Richmond, a lot of the Chinese salons, nail salons, they had not one English word on their sign.
Oh, wow.
Not one English word. And so, anyway.
So Dory and Debbie, in this case, with this new salon under new management, I'm going to take Debbie's letter. I'm going to put this in a letter form and give this to them. I'm going to say, welcome, and put together a nice little letter, and with your email, Debbie, and that little flyer, and pass this out with the sample to them.
I just emailed you and Dory my 2 inserts, the one for people that are new and the one for people you're actually giving the sample to at the time, and the proposed letter that I would send out as an email, but they can all be edited. They're just doc files, so you can put your own information in if that's helpful. But so Dory, just to go back to when you're sending, if the idea of sending a sample in the mail, whether approved of or not, you're still going to send them the link where they go to request 2 samples, though, right?
In that case, I would probably send them. I would probably not send them a sample. They'd already got the sample, and
No, but I'm saying when you said you're just good, like just to mail a single sample to an address. Say you haven't talked to them at all. You're still going to send. You still have to send them the link to the funnel where they would actually be requesting two more samples, basically.
Yes, I would send them the link and I'd say, this is part of the campaign. You'll get a page identical to the one below, blah, blah, blah. And, then I'd say, if you want to have, there's no cost to you. The only thing you'll ever have to invest in is samples, right? And from every sample, there's a potential to earn $20 for every order that results in an order. And currently we're running, put some numbers in there.
Yeah.
Real numbers are around 30. If you say 30%, that's pretty safe because that's what the ratio is. 30% of samples result in a actual purchase of a preferred customer, and that generates them a $20 bill if they're a distributor. So the math is really strong on the ROI on this deal, so yes.
So in fact, they're getting 1 sample in the mail. When they request the other 2, they can have 2 then clients to give it to instead of just 1.
Yeah.
So I need a consensus. So does everyone want the list that gives us everything, including the non-email?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
And for Susan's purpose here, interesting on this software, Sales Rocks. we can actually zero in to the CEO, to the owner. It's so powerful.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've reached out somewhat on Facebook and whatever. The other thought I had as we were talking about this is I like the idea of a phone call, but the other option, if we have a hard time reaching someone, because some of these salons, what they've been doing is, I don't know, there's been some, you'll find some, and probably smaller ones where book online, but you'll have certain salons that are doing that. And if you run into that, you might even catch their Facebook page and just say, just wanted to send a note. I'm sending something out to you. Check, watch for it.
Yeah.
You could send it to them on a Facebook or some other kind of communication.
So I have a thought. I'm going to throw this out. You give me a yes or no. For those, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of us live in California. How about we come together and take that? There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lists in California and Arizona that we combine and share all that. There's lots and lots of lists.
Yeah, and Dave, to that point, one of the things that I've taught people for years is to consider their home base a bullseye.
Yeah.
In this case, you could help Debbie for sure in Canada build a strong U.S. organization. So if Debbie did, if you send Debbie a list that was near you, actually, Debbie, get the samples out, do all that stuff, and then Dave could be the support person locally.
Yeah.
And now you've got a U.S. list being and a team being built for you in the U.S. So that could help you, Debbie, as well.
So I did a trial scan of salons with emails across the U.S. I didn't purchase them. I didn't use my 30,000 credits. It came out to thousands and thousands. I didn't want to use all my credits just on this one, but we get 30,000 a month, correct?
Yeah. It's like I said, it's a $90,000 value a month list that we can get.
Quick question. Sorry. On the Sales Rocks, is that, so you pay that a year, or is that?
No, we bought a lifetime license.
Lifetime license.
We
$3,000? That's not bad.
We invested in them when they were a startup. Took a risk.
cool.
And now,
Okay, so now it's not available?
no, it's not available. No.
Got it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Not available. Well, you can get it at retail now, but
What are they charging for it? Curious.
it's quite expensive.
Like 20,000 or something.
Yeah, it's $1,000 a month or something, but it does give you the same numbers that we got.
Yeah, awesome.
They give you 500 or something.
Yeah. So Mike, I'll do a search for you in Palm Springs and that whole Coachella Valley, and of all the salons and nail salons, because everyone in Palm Springs wants to look nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'll do that, and that will be. We'll see. I'll get that over to you guys.
Has anyone ever done comparison shopping for this is how much Botox and your jujum costs, and this is what it does to your body, and this is what we do?
That's a good idea, though.
Yeah.
I now my honest opinion on this is what it does to your body.
Yeah.
Sometimes negative sells, but I think if you just compared the dollar value and not got into the specifics, you'd get a better response.
Okay.
Because if there's a salon that's invested in a technician that applies Botox, and then you're telling them they're doing harm to their customer, they'll ignore you.
Even though it's
So
true?
you just say, hey, for those of you that, are considering these two options, we have a temporary, and Botox is temporary, is it not? It's not a permanent thing.
It's not permanent.
You have to go get shot, so I would say that one is safer than the other for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I actually
Another question I have.
my 11:15 with my next group.
Okay.
That I'm gonna try and close. You logged in as an admin, right, Dave?
I did, yes.
Yeah, so I should be able to close my windows and have to open them.
Yes,
But if everybody goes away, it's Dory's fault.
okay.
You guys, see you guys.
2-second question. 2-second question. Does this have any cumulative effect when we use this?
From what I asked Patty Zocha, no.
No.
But again, I think everything in common sense, if you're like Tracy is, she uses it. She doesn't apply it for me every morning. So what I'm saying is she only applies it when she's going out to see someone far more important than me.
You've seen her at her best anyway.
I'm kidding. I tell her she's beautiful every day and I mean it. So anyways, guys, have a good one.
Okay, thanks, Dory.
Okay, bye.
Hey, Susan, just a note on that, cumulative effect. I was talking to Drew McKay yesterday, and Drew's going to get this, and we were talking about Ageless. He uses that. Ageless.
Say that again?
It's called Ageless. And
Okay.
it's a skin
Right, I have it. Yeah.
That, he has said that he has seen a cumulative effect with that. And so I'm going to take a strong look at that. He likes that
Who
product.
says that? Who says that?
One of our distributors in Michigan.
Okay, I'd like to know. I mean, if we could come up with a way of trying to sell that as a combination,
That would
double
be
the
awesome.
money.
Yeah.
I know.
You know, that's because I've used it, and my personal on it is, yeah, okay, I don't see anything, and the frustration I have with using that is I feel like I need a cream over it because my skin's too dry. It doesn't give enough moisture.
Remember, less is better, and make sure your skin is moist when you put it on.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that, Dave. I'm talking about the Ageless.
It's okay. I haven't. Yeah. And Vince,
But you know,
use it.
Susan, most serums are designed to use under a moisturizer. That's what
Okay.
serums are. That's the next step is usually a moisturizer. So
Okay. I wish we had a moisturizer to add a bucket. It really would make sense from a...
use coconut oil like Ron.
What?
Use coconut oil like Ron.
Coconut oil.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I use it a lot.
Been using it for years and
See, Ron's actually 105. But he
And Ron, you're
so much
pretty.
younger.
You're pretty, Ron.
Well, this is very good.
my address. Like the old saying, go to park.
So Dave, I sent out those 3 attachments to you. If you could get them, to the rest of the group in here, that would be awesome. You can just forward the email that I sent you. I didn't put any message in it. It's just 3 attachments.
So Debbie, this attachment is going to be used to put in a letter to be sent out. Is that right?
There's 3. One is to hand out with your samples. It asks if you know anybody else and give them the address. The second one is to hand out to someone who isn't getting the samples at the moment. It's to get them to try the samples. And then the third one is the email message that I would send out, when we were contacting salons in this program. Now that could be adapted now if we're going to send a sample first, say, here's your sample and here's the program explained in the email.
So it's edible, so we can actually put our URL on that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just a doc file. It's a half page. What you might have to do to make it print out properly is move really narrow your borders. It depends. It might print out right. It might print out wonky depending on your printer. because I widened the borders so that it was, this shape and went right to, pretty close to the edges. Yeah. There you go.
Thank you for sharing that, Debbie. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
So I have
Quick question.
for Ron, for Vince, who's the internet guru. Can we use this on Facebook or Instagram?
Use what?
That's out. This document that Debbie put together.
Could you use it?
Yeah, I'm just throwing. I don't know, but I'm just thinking about something.
Well, some of it depends on who you follow in terms of promoting your products and yourself on Facebook and Instagram and social media. But could you use it? Yes. What I would probably do if, once I get my arms wrapped around what we're proposing here is to do some promotions, because you can promote this stuff for very cheap and get lots of impressions and not put it on your personal page. Because I think that, if you're going to do a promotion on your personal page, you need to follow it up with a lot of what you had for dinner and, what your cat looks like, what your dog looks like.
You've been looking at my page.
But a lot of the training that I've gained and I think is valuable is that, when you spam people with what you're trying to sell, you lose following and they lose interest. And we're all subjects of the social media movement. And, when you see Dave Nelson and he always is promoting something, you go right by him. But, if he's promoting, his dog or his cause or his kid or the supports, his kids in sports and you feel that you can connect with him, then yes. So to answer your question in a lot fewer words, if you're supporting this document with other things to keep the person engaged, yes.
Okay.
If not, I would do it as a promotion and not put it on your page.
Right, I got it.
Yeah, put it on, make a product page and not, I've got a product page and a personal page.
I personally have a couple pages. I have my own page and I'm friends with most of the people on here, and it's just Vince Cordova. And then I have a Valentis, Vincent N. Cordova, and I'm not really encouraged. I put things like what you're promoting here on there, that it's more health related things. It's things that, relate to what I'm trying to achieve in Valentis. So, to answer your question is that I encourage people to have more than one page, because if I have almost 3,000 friends on my personal one, and there's no secret, I was in network marketing prior to this, and so I still have friends from that group, and I try and stay politically and religious neutral, and I try not to promote one particular product on that. I have put things on there about Emulin because I'm an Emulin snob, but I think that you need to follow your passion. And I'm a car guy, so I put a lot of car stuff on there, because I think that one of the other things that I learned about social media, Dave, is that you need to be authentic to what, for you, it's running and sports, because that's what you're passionate about. And so if you're posting on your personal page about those things that are neutral, don't put polarizing stuff on their politics and things like that. Okay. But if you're putting things like that, people will engage with you.
Okay.
Either that, or you're going to filter out the people that don't think like you.
You can edit your personal page, so down the left side are links to other things that you have. Mm-hmm. So I've got several different links on the left-hand side of my personal page, and then I have a page for Toward Integration Wellness, and I promote trapped emotion release, and I did put a thing about, about the sample. But anyway, what you can do is put a little post on any page and say, if you want to see what else I really like, or what other things I like to tell people, check out my other page at.
That's a good idea.
And then, refer your pages to each other.
I have a question. Did you guys get, for this thing here, did you guys get stickers to put on the back?
No, I write it in.
You mean your contact information and stuff?
Yeah, I'm thinking of ordering stickers here.
Just
That's a
make
good
them.
idea.
Just make them on
My
your
wife
print.
makes clear labels. Why don't you look into just getting some clear labels?
Yeah, Avery labels.
That's a good
They can buy
idea.
all kinds of shapes and sizes. I've made labels for years. It's really easy.
Okay, so just get them up. Where did you grab paper?
Staples or Staples or any store like that. They have different sizes. You can get letter size. You can get little ones
I have
like
some of
address return. Yeah, and then they fit. You have to choose the right template for your printer, and then it'll just print them. Then you've got a whole page of the same sticker, and they can be clear or white or.
That's a good idea, because I think I need to make stickers for these, because if we're going to send them out in quantity,
Yeah.
we're going to want to have a sticker or something.
That's why I'm putting my insert in. Because if they take the sample, toss the package, they might still have my little letter
Right.
or insert. So
I think both places is good, because if they put it in their purse and take it somewhere and share it with somebody, might be another reason to have it.
Susan,
I'm going to literally just say, I wrote something yesterday, not that it's perfect, but I'll read you what I'm literally probably going to do in a voiceover. Hey everyone, we all know small businesses have taken it out. Mind you, I've got to change some language here, but we know all small businesses have taken it on the chin over the last year, and salons are no exception. Most of us have our favorite stylist in salon, and in many cases, we've known them for years. We have a free consultation available in a turnkey program to help them increase revenues, but we need your help to get the word out. Click below for 2 free samples, including shipping, for this amazing anti-aging cream designed to reduce those unwanted lines, wrinkles, and saggy eyes in minutes. Try one for yourself and take one to your stylist along with the program introduction. Click here for your free samples, blah, blah. That's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm literally doing a voiceover, putting it up on LinkedIn so they...
What it sounds like, Susan, is that when you do the smaller piece, it actually creates more curiosity. And that's what we're after. My background, as you don't know, is I've been a college professor. I have a degree in marriage and family therapy. There's this whole thing about choices, and I just wrote that down. We all have choices to make. You guys have business background. I don't so much. Dave just loves me. And it's all about choices. And when you give someone a choice, you empower them. You put it in their hands, not in my hands, but in your hands. Your choices between the cost that we were talking about for Juvederm and for Botox versus this. And do you want this while you're sleeping? It's going to last this long. Or would you rather just use something that's going to keep you for 12 hours when you have an event? Does that make sense?
it does. You know, the letter that I just put together to go out to salons actually gives them the choice of deciding whether they want to look at it or not. I'll just read it. It's really short because I didn't want to explain the program and give the message. Okay, it says, hi, I'm Debbie Ward, holistic practitioner and former pharmacist, and I'm part of a program reaching out to local businesses, particularly salons like yours, with a simple program to help enhance their clients' salon experience while at the same time increasing their bottom line. So many businesses have taken an income hit with COVID lockdowns, and we think we have a pretty interesting and mutually beneficial solution for you, your clients, and your customers. I'm going to let this website explain how the program works. And I put my Savior Salon, where you can also request a free sample to experience this for yourself. Added bonus, this new program can help you pay it forward and help other people, businesses, and organizations if, in capital letters, you so choose. But I can explain all that later. So that gives them the choice of are they interested in looking at it or not.
Yep. Mm-hmm. The choice is to look at it.
That makes sense, Debbie. That's good.
Because what you're giving them is you want them to be able to give their patrons choices as well. Because the conversation that I had with those women there were like 6 of us talking about it. Well, I don't want to use Botox yet. That's it. I don't want to use that yet. I want to do other things first. This is that other thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so like the letter makes it like, okay, you don't have to do this, but you can choose to, or, and then added bonus, you can choose to help other people. We can talk about that as well.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're requesting, like they're choosing to go to my Savior Salon page, and if they're choosing it, then they're more apt to read, you know,
and they're likely to watch.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
okay.
I like what Susan...
So that answers my question. I was saying, where are you using it?
But I like, Susan, I like the shorter, because that's the one that's creating curiosity. And then to go with what Debbie's saying with Savior Salon, give them that option. If you want more information, go here.
I should make my letter a sound bite and use it that way as well.
Exactly.
I'm not sure I know how.
You can do this.
Doing that voice message, I have about 150, 200 leads that I've purchased through Valtribe in the past. That I've gotten a couple signups, but not very many.
Mm-hmm.
But I can go back to those leads with that short voice message and a text. I have now, I can text those people and do that short message with a short text with a URL and say, hey, I know I contacted you before. We talked about this. Here's something you might want to take a look at. And I like to try that. Text.
Agreed.
On those messages, on those leads I got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just, we were just doing this last night. We were just having this conversation. And I think, yeah, okay, now I can see like where you could use it. And that's, you know, okay. But that's because I was looking at it more as a lead magnet, and in my mind, it's not a lead magnet at all.
But you have to make a choice.
Here's what I'm thinking, Susan. If you could voice that, especially sending this to women, on with the leads I have, I'd rather have a woman's voice doing the text than a man's voice. So if you'd be open to do that and then send that text over to us, we could use that and then put the URL on the bottom. Then click this URL and you can get more information.
And I can...
Okay, so I'm a little confused, Dave. See, we're talking about, so once we create it, we could share it with you. Is that what you're asking?
No, that message you just read over, put that in, put that in voice text.
Like a voiceover.
Voiceover.
Right.
Okay.
Send that over.
Yeah.
And so you're thinking about doing that just as with no video or anything and just do the voice.
Correct. And then I'll write a text to them with that voice message on the text.
That's a thought.
I'm going to try that because I have a bunch of leads I want to send to.
So if we have email addresses and we have a soundbite, does the soundbite have a link that you can click on in an email?
Yeah.
Okay, so like I've never used a soundbite and I'd have to figure out how to do that. But if you send out an email saying, you know, here's a little message, click here to hear me explain, and then have it in and I could just make the soundbite out of what I've created for my letter.
Yeah, I actually get it. Yeah, I'll try that. But I want to go back to those texts because people open texts before they do open an email.
Exactly.
So I want to send this text out, Susan, and see what kind of results I get. Do a trial.
Well, we probably should look at my writing then on, you know, kind of,
sure.
I don't know. I just did that sort of I was just playing with it. I haven't refined the language in it.
Speaking of technical, in a quick nutshell, can you tell me how you make a soundbite? What program do you use to record your voice and then save it? Or can you do it?
Telephone.
Okay.
My little telephone. You have the, do you have an iPhone?
No, I have an Android.
Okay, well, there should be on there some kind of utility, something or other. It's utilities is where mine is, and it says voice memos.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Okay.
Billy was just saying, create a voice memo. And so you can just do it, you click on there and, write whatever you want and do it right there. And then you can, I don't know, we did this because I did a voiceover for something I put on LinkedIn. Oh my God, you guys, he's going to make me a little technical in spite of myself. It's really freaky. But I actually created it, saved it. I don't remember how I did it now because that was just a week ago, but I saved it onto the computer and I put it over the top something I had written, and then he had me voice over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
there wasn't a URL to click to hear the audio? Like, how do we put that into?
Yeah,
it was a click because it was actually like a video.
Okay, it comes across when you just do sound. It comes across with just a little thing like you're watching a recording, and you just click on that, and you get the voice.
Okay.
So that's how it would be on the phone if we texted it.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. And I'm trained in voiceovers, by the way.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go.
Awesome. Awesome.
You're a resource.
And if we want something more, I'm house manager for Christian Community Theater, and I've got a whole bunch of actors and actresses that we can
Oh, wow.
get involved. So, yeah.
Ron, you're so quiet.
He's thinking.
My dad always told me, you got two of these and one of those. If you use them in that proportion, you learn something.
Yep. That sounds like scripture to me.
Hey guys, I have to run here, but this has been a great brainstorm. This is great.